Good evening. I thank you for coming out this evening. I'm Dave Mings. I am the Chief Academic Officer for Warren Consolidated Schools. Before we get started, I did want to extend a few thank yous to the people that made tonight possible. First and foremost is my administrative assistant, Debbie Pellerito. She was really the work behind the scenes and making sure everything went off tonight without a hitch. So I truly owe her a great deal of gratitude for her work. And next, I would like to thank my administrative team, led by Executive Director of Curriculum, Ms. Pam Fry, who's in attendance tonight, and the other fellow administrators, Jamie O'Corey, Annette Loria, and Teresa Callahan. In addition, the elementary principals that are in attendance tonight that most of you were probably able to connect with will be at their tables throughout the course of the evening. And it's really the work that they do each and every day that makes the difference in all of our kids' lives in the districts at large. So for them, we are eternally grateful for the work that they do. In addition, several members of the Warren Education Association teaching staff, mainly our reading interventionist, our math interventionists that are at the blue table. And before I forget to remind you, if you haven't stopped by their table, they've got a great bag full of really key things that will allow you to make sure your little ones are prepared for whether it's preschool or mainly kindergarten. And there's a QR code on it. If you just scan that QR code, there's a short video that takes you right through how to utilize everything that's actually in this bag. So if you haven't picked this up yet, please make sure you stop by their table. It's got a lot of great information as you prepare your children to embark on their education journey. Other staff members that are in attendance tonight from Pupil Accounting Services, our district nurse, it really takes a collective effort between all of us, between instruction, transportation, nutrition, everything that makes a school district operate is really on show tonight. For them, we really want to show a great deal of appreciation for taking time out of their evening to make sure that this evening is everything it should be for you guys. As I enter this presentation, and all the artwork from the program is from elementary students that are actually in our district, just so there's a little bit of a heads up. As a little bit of an agenda tonight, we will introduce the programs that we have, the different kindergarten programs, the different early childhood programs, and then as we get towards the end, there'll be more about how to actually register for the various programs that you're here for tonight. And this is our class of 2036, if you can believe it. And as we stand here today, in 2023, no one's quite sure exactly what the world will look like in 2036. I actually have 4 kids myself. 2 are actually in elementary schools. I have a 5th grader, a 4th grader, and I've got a 4-year-old and a 4-month-old. So I've got like a wide range. And so some of the anxiety and questions and conversations you're having at your house regarding what am I sending my kid into, I'm having at my household as well. So I fully empathize with the conversations and thoughts that are going through your family as you're here tonight. No matter what the world looks like in 2036, there are skills that are embedded into people that are successful as they embark into a world global economy. And those are skills in literacy, skills in problem solving, and attendance. You kind of have to be there, and that's one of our main focuses on. We can't do the great work we do each and every day if our kids aren't in front of us. So there's really a focus on making sure our kids can read and write, problem solve, and they can show up. And we are focused as a district on creating opportunities that ensure achievement and success. And there's a little bit of difference in what achievement means versus success. As we embark, we'll explain that a little bit. So as far as achievement goes, that basically means your child is meeting grade level standards in reading and math. You're able to be proficient in math and reading as you progress through your educational years. That's what good achievement is for Warren Consolidated Schools and is embedded in both of our kindergarten curriculum all the way up through 12th grade. We have assessments and diagnostics throughout the course of every year to ensure that your child is actually making progress. And what that means is if your child is not at grade level, there's going to be more resources assigned to those students that aren't currently at grade level or showing proficiency. Just need a little bit more support and resources. You may have heard Dr. Livernoy on radio saying, we treat every student as an individual. So how do we possibly do that with 13,000 kids? Well, we do it by making sure and assessing your child that they are at grade level. And we really like to embark making sure that your child is reading and proficient at grade level. And what you see here is we use a assessment called the NWEA MAP assessment, which is a measurement of academic progress. And as your child progresses throughout the course of their career, they will be assessed 2 times each year. As a kindergartner, it may not make sense to you, but my child that's in 5th grade and 4th grade, when we receive these individualized reports, the bar graphs show comparison as to where they have been in 2nd grade, in 3rd grade, both in the fall and the spring, and we have conversations at home that are directed by what this information actually shows. Teachers use and allocate their resources based on the information pulled from these assessments to make sure that if there's a gap from your child in terms of grade level proficiency, we're going to allocate those resources to make sure, and we individualize that instruction to ensure students are progressing at the rate they need to progress. As we move into success, and success means something different for everybody. You can go into a career in the business field. You can go into a career in engineering. You can go and have a career in skilled trades. We have programs built around what success means for you and your individual child. We've got academic centers for math and science in our middle school and our high school. We've got visual performing arts, theater programs in our middle school and our high school, and we have skilled trade programs where students in the high school, grades 10, 11, and 12, can enter programs and get licensed in certified fields and can start making money directly after high school because they embarked on a skilled trade program. So whatever success means for you and your family, we've got a program as you progress through Warren Consolidated Schools. One of the main pillars of our strategic plan as a district revolves around this idea of a student support network. It's got essentially 4 main pillars associated to it. Focus on care, meaning the whole child. Focus on membership, feeling connected to your school. Research shows students that are connected to their school and community will achieve more success as they as they progress in their schooling. Safety, emotionally and physically safe spaces, and support advocacy for all. We have teachers and administrators that are absolute relentless advocates for the students of Warren Consolidated Schools each and every day. If you're here for early child programs, our early child programs really are grades 3, 4 preschool, our World of Fours programs are really focused on kindergarten preparation. What is it going to mean to make sure my child is ready for kindergarten? We have objectives in early childhood for development, such as literacy, problem solving, and social emotional development, physical health, and the arts. That's what our preschool is dedicated to do, as well as our transitional kindergarten as well, and I'll get into that a little bit. I kind of touched upon this, but we've got 3 early childhood programs that we offer. One is our preschool, which is for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. We've got a more targeted program called our World of Fours, and we've got LATCHKEY before and after school. And just so you're aware, each of these programs are going to be live on our website. That we outline where the address is towards the end, but it's basically www.wcs.net/class of 2036. That's where you'll go to register, and that's where you'll go to find out more detailed information about what's expected for each and every one of these programs. You can see just what a typical classroom in kindergarten looks like at all of our schools, equipped with the utmost recent technology, and you name it, we've got it in our kindergarten classrooms. So what are the kindergarten options? We've got two main options. One is our traditional kindergarten, where students must be 5 on or before September 1st of this school year, of this calendar year. That's our traditional kindergarten. We have another program for students that are born for September 2nd through December 1st, which is our transitional kindergarten, that might need a few more skills before they're ready for our traditional kindergarten. So those students that are 5 on or before September 1st are eligible for our kindergarten program. Those that are born September 2nd, I know it says September 1st up there, but it's September 2nd till December 1st are eligible for our transitional kindergarten. There is an age requirement. Unfortunately, the state does dictate when, and there's a reason for that cutoff. There's research based that suggests students born after September 2nd, and they're getting late in the year to be in our regular kindergarten, and they may need a little bit extra support before they actually enter into that. There are waivers for students born between September 2nd and December 1st to waive going into transitional kindergarten and going into regular kindergarten. But as you think about that and you make that decision as your family, you really need to look in the development of your child. Are they really ready for kindergarten? There is the expectation of a certain maturity level is expected, and as you embark on whether you're going to make that decision or not, you need to really think about transitional kindergarten or transitional kindergarten or traditional kindergarten. Our transitional kindergarten, and again, this is those children born September 2nd to December 1st. It's available to all WCS students turning 5 between September 2nd and December 1st. It's not at all of our elementary schools. It's at 7 of them. You can see the 7 up on the screen. Unfortunately, we cannot get transportation to those schools if that is not your home school. But if Cromie Elementary is your home school and you're in transitional kindergarten, you will have transportation provided to you as long as you meet the district guidelines for transportation. And LATCHKEY is available for our transitional kindergarten program before and after school. We currently have 12 elementary schools. School starts August 30th, 2023. As I talk a little bit about what the curriculum entails, it is obviously very extensive. We've got literacy, we've got math embedded throughout each and every day, but then we have what they call allied arts, which are a little bit more focused on social emotional, but we can, we start with the 4 main cores of literacy, math, science, social studies. We go into some STEM. Our allied arts are basically STEM-focused: art, music, physical education, or media and technology. So students have a very robust curriculum in our kindergarten that really hits upon literacy, math, science, social studies, and incorporates some of those allied arts as well. So what does it mean to have English language arts as a kindergartner? Well, it means that you're going to recognize all upper and lowercase letters and their sounds. And there's a systematic process to teaching this. You're going to be able to read age-appropriate text. You're going to use comprehension strategies. That's one of our main focus of literacy is being able to comprehend what you're reading. You're going to use a combination of drawing, speaking, and writing to tell stories, and you're going to be able to know your conventions, your grammar, spelling, and punctuation. By the end of kindergarten, in math, you should expect your child to be able to count to 100 by ones and tens. You should be able to recognize and write numbers 1 to 20. Your child should be able to understand greater than, less than, and equal to. Your child should be able to classify objects into categories and solve basic addition and subtraction problems. Now, those benchmarks are great. We understand every kid is an individual. I have 4 kids, my 2 boys in 5th and 4th grade. They're complete opposites. I've got one that is an emotional roller coaster and struggles with speech and language. He gets some support. My 4th grader is a very literal thinker. He's spitting out facts and numbers and sequences and math that my 5th grader can't do. Complete opposite ends of the spectrum. We work with all levels in between. We work with those that are above grade level, we work with those that are at grade level, we work with those that are below grade level. We understand that each kid is an individual, and just because your neighbor can multiply 4 by 5 by the age of 5 doesn't mean your child is wrong if he can't do that, or is less, okay? Each kid is an individual. If you have questions as you're embarking on your journey, you start with your child's teacher. If you can't get any resolution with your child's teacher, you reach out to your building principal. If you can't get resolution there, which is very rare, you will reach out to my office. So as I move forward, like I said at the beginning, it takes a village to make a school operate, a school district operate. So we're going to highlight a few items from each individual department that are going to be relevant to you and your family as you move forward. Our school nurse, like I said, on the district website, there's required immunizations, what to do if your child has to take medication at school, vision and hearing expectations and testing, and there's going to be some good recommendations, what we call notes from nursing. That's all going to be housed on that website, class of 2036. As far as transportation, I know that's a big question. Am I eligible for transportation? The answer is going to be housed on this link. You basically click the link, enter your address, and they're going to tell you whether or not you're going to have district provided transportation. If you are eligible, it will list your bus numbers and stops. There's another good parent-to-parent example where I can't tell you the amount of gloves and hats and coats, especially, well, not so much today, but when it's cold outside, it's like gloves grow legs and walk. It's unbelievable how many pairs of gloves and hats I've had to buy over the course of the years. But as you receive your child off the bus stop, we will not allow a child to get off the bus as a kindergartner to meet their parent. If there's not a parent or an adult there to receive their child from the bus, that child will be returned back to school and will have to call home. So make sure that you have a trusted adult there to meet your child at the bus stop each and every day. I kind of touched upon the personal belongings, but make sure you write your name, your child's name, on their belongings, because as I said, there is a nice collection at the end of each winter season of coats and boots and hats and pants and gloves. And it is a good idea to pin your ID card on the inside of your child's backpack so we know who it actually belongs to. Our nutrition service, our slogan is, a nourished student is a learning student. We have menus housed on our district website, but the bigger news is that all breakfast and lunches for elementary students is going to be free for next school year, which is a great perk for our kids that need their breakfast and lunch to get nourished throughout the course of the day. And we've got a whole plethora of menu items that are very well received from the kids. As I walk through cafeterias, they are eating a lot, so it's a good menu. How will transportation or nutrition services know if my student has medical concerns? They have an allergy. How am I going? If they have an insulin pump. How are we going to know that? During the enrollment process, you're going to complete a document that's going to highlight any concerns, any medical alerts, and it's going to be routed to the appropriate department, so that will be on file for your child. I just wanted to highlight real quick our district website. The upper left is our main page, and then there is a translation to any various language within the district. On the lower left-hand side, it's a Google bar. It says Google Translate, and you can pick any language that you want to see the website in. It's on the lower left-hand side of our district homepage. As I indicated earlier, this site is live right now, which is basically from our homepage, www.wcskids.net/class of 2036. And it's got all of the information I'm speaking to tonight, as well as the online registration process. I'll hit when those dates for registering come active, but right now you can see what does it mean to be in transitional kindergarten? What are the expectations for kindergarten? What does it mean for LATCHKEY? World of Fours, which is our targeted early childhood program. Any of the information I'm covering tonight will be housed on this site at a more in-depth process. If you want to register in person, all the necessary information is right up on the board. It's at our administration building, which is located at 31300 Anita, right off of 13 Mile Road, just east of Hoover. But that phone number can get you the assistance as well. Technical glitch here. Thank you. But you can see we're registering Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 9 till 3:30. Oftentimes we get asked, what if my homeschool is Green Acres and I want to go to Harwood? That's what we call open enrollment, and that's an agreement basically from building principal to building principal. And you would have to fill out this form. It's an open enrollment form, and you fill out all the necessary information, and it gets submitted, and then both building principals have to sign off on it, and then you would be enrolled in the school that you would wish to attend. The other question is school of choice, which is open to students that are outside of Warren Consolidated Schools but still live in Macomb County. If you live in a different school district but want to attend Warren Consolidated Schools, you would have to fill out a school of choice application prior to, I think it's early September, but those dates will be listed. And that registration for school of choice begins March 1st. So if you live outside of Warren Consolidated Schools in Macomb County, you can fill out an application to attend Warren Consolidated Schools, any school in the district, beginning March 1st. When you register, there's a language survey that's required by federal law. Both the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, it requires us to ask what the home language spoken at home is. Just a couple of reminders as we move forward. You begin the process of enrolling your child, whether it's transitional, traditional, kindergarten, or any of our preschool programs. Make sure your son or daughter knows their name and address. That's a key thing. Anytime they're in an emergency situation, it's good if your child knows their name and their address. Make sure your son or daughter can care for themselves. They can go to the bathroom on their own, they're toilet trained, wash their hands. This is the third one. My daughter really struggled in preschool with this, at the time, 3-year-old. Make sure they can zip their own coat. And believe it or not, kindergarten classrooms have 20 kids. If they have to take time to zip each kid's coat, that takes a lot of time. So the more you can get your child to zip their own coat, the better off everybody will be. Introduce your son or daughter to the public library. And then the last point is just kind of words of wisdom. When it's appropriate, it's okay to allow your kids to struggle. It's okay to let them problem solve on their own, obviously when it's appropriate. There's a lot of growing up that kids do when they're just given the opportunity to figure things out on their own and allow them to struggle. It's very powerful, and obviously there's times when you would need to intervene, but there's little things, and kids can really flourish if they're given the ability to figure things out on their own and problem solve. And then the last one I like to call is the power of yet, which your child is not going to be perfect in everything. My son wasn't great at math yet, and that's okay. That's why we're here. We're going to teach your child as an individual, and it's okay to allow them to struggle when appropriate, and understand that just because your sharing partner next to you can do the math that's required doesn't mean you're not going to be able to in 3 days. And those are just really some key points as students start to enter kindergarten. And that's pretty much it for me as I wrap up my speech. I feel like I was a little long-winded, but I truly appreciate you coming out and listening and interacting with our building principals and our intervention specialist. You being here tonight proves that you're investing in your child's future. And that is the partnership that we at Warren Consolidated Schools love and appreciate, and really allows us to flourish with the support that you have, and by being here tonight shows that support. So with that, I appreciate you coming out tonight. The building principals and intervention specialists are still at their tables, and I encourage you to pick up this information packet that's got a lot of good activities for your kids, and it's got my fifth grader's favorite book in here when he was in kindergarten, The Pout Pout Fish. So have a great night, and thank you very much for coming out.